Alright guys, if you guys are running low air pressure, bump it up. You could go up to 30, see how that runs for you. If it's too much, bump it down a couple pounds. If that's still too much, you could always bump it back or bump it down a little bit again. I want to go too low because what will help with circles is a little bit of high air pressure, so that way there's less tire gripping the ground, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. So the more tire that grips on the ground is going to cause your recon circles to be a lot wider. So if you guys want to start cutting them in more, I recommend bumping up PSI, because what's going to happen is that's going to be less tire gripping on the ground, and that's going to give you that close in a little bit. And also another tip is when you're doing your circles, whatever direction it is, left or right, you're going to want to look towards that direction. I go right, so as I'm doing my circles to the right, I'm looking to the right. Might sound weird, but it honestly works. It actually helps the bike turn, and it helps, it really does. So keep that in mind for you. So that's Thomas back there, he's working on his circles. But anyways, that's one tip. Another tip is find stuff to put in the center of the lot, like cones. I got these little football cones that I put on the center of the lot. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring them because they're in Ashley's truck, and she didn't come out today, so couldn't get them, and I forgot. So you're gonna want to set stuff in the lot in the center and focus on circling that. This video, there's not much I could explain, just like the previous video, just due to the fact that you just got to get out there and feel it out and just use my tips on how to do so. But as we get into the next video, which are tight circles, you know, I'm gonna be able to explain a little better, because that gets a little technical, and there's different things I'm gonna have to show you and explain well, so you guys can kind of understand what I'm talking about. All right, so unfortunately I forgot my cones, but I was going to tell you guys it's good if you have an object or a few. So like if you had a lot like this, you set up the cones in a big circle, and then where you're going to focus on is circling all those cones. And then while you do that, you're gonna look at the cones, so that way it helps bring your bike with it. Trust me, it might sound weird, but look at the direction you're circling and it'll help you guys. The bike tends to want to just follow that, because if you notice, when people are riding doing circles, they're always looking towards the direction they want their circle to go. So since I don't have my cones to show you guys that example, because unfortunately my girlfriend Ashley didn't come out today, so my cones are in her truck, so hello. But anyways, what I'm gonna do for an example for you guys, since I don't have my cones, is here's one set of parking spaces and here's the next set. So I'm gonna use that as a viewpoint. So I'm gonna try to keep those recons, to close them in and keep them tighter, so keep them between the parking space lines. I hope my new mic works. I don't know, I'm winging it right now, so we'll see. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it in between these lines instead of the whole lot. So here's my second set of parking spaces. I'm gonna want to try to turn it before it. Got that turn. Coming up to my second. Gonna try to keep that turn. You're gonna keep doing that till you're closing them in nicely. Or if you have the cones like I'm talking about, try to focus on looking at them and circling them as great as you can. Also, if you guys are running low tire pressure, I suggest you guys jack it up a little bit. You could either start at 30 30, or if that's too much for you at the moment, drop it down by a couple pounds, because it will help. The more air pressure you got in your tire, the better you're going to cut that circle. There's not much else I could say about closing in these recons, because it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to keep practicing these and close them in more and more. Now when we get into the third video on cutting them tight, I'll be able to explain a lot better. Not necessarily better, but I'll be able to explain that, you know, how technical it is, because you're going to have to get that dip, and then you're going to have to commit to that dip, because you're going to feel like high siding and it's going to feel really weird, but you just got to commit to that dip. So with the tighter ones, I'll be able to explain a lot more, but for now, you guys are going to set something in the middle of the course. You're going to try to circle it and try to gain that control that you need for this. I hope this video helped you guys out with my little tip and tricks on how to close in your recons. For you guys that are ready for the tight ones, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll pump that one out so you guys get a little understanding and video guidance on how to get those tight ones. Alright guys, Groovy Stunts out. Thanks for watching.